All right, let's talk about what turns a simple product into an icon. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on the blueprint for building brands that don't just sell, but actually build a legacy. We're going to get into the science of loyalty and how they do it.
I mean, really think about it for a second. Why are you willing to shell out more cash for one brand of coffee over another? Or what about that deep down connection you feel to a certain kind of car? Well, spoiler alert, it's not by accident. There's a powerful framework that explains exactly how this magic happens.
And it all comes down to this one simple truth. A brand isn't what the company's marketing department says it is. Nope, it's the grand total of everything we've ever learned, felt, seen, or heard about it. The real power, it's all right up here, in our heads.
So, here's our game plan for today. We're going to climb a 4-level pyramid, one step at a time. We'll start with just basic awareness and go all the way up to that intense, die-hard loyalty. This is the real blueprint.
Okay, let's get right into our blueprint. To figure out what makes a brand truly strong, we need a map. And our map is the customer-based brand equity model, which, is really just a fancy way of saying a brand is only as valuable as its customers think it is.
So here it is. This pyramid, developed by the marketing guru Kevin Lane Keller, lays out 4 crucial steps. And here's the catch. You can't just jump to the top. You have to build it from the ground up, because each level answers a really important question that customers are subconsciously asking about your brand.
We're starting at the bottom, at the very foundation, with the most basic question of all: who are you? This is all about carving out a space for your brand in the customer's mind.
This first step is called brand salience. And listen, it's so much more than just having people recognize your logo. It means your brand is the very first thing that pops into someone's head when they have a certain need. You feel thirsty and you immediately think Coke. That is brand salience.
All right, let's climb up to the next level. So once people know who you are, you've got to answer their next question, which is, okay, but what are you? This is where you start to define what your brand really stands for.
Now this is where it starts to get really, really interesting. The most powerful brands out there have this kind of duality. They're not just about appealing to your rational brain or your emotional heart. They are masters at capturing both at the same time. And here's how that breaks down. On one side, you've got brand performance. This is all the logical, brainy stuff. Does the product do its job? Is it reliable? Is the price fair? Then on the other side, you have brand imagery. This is the emotional pull, the gut feeling. What does using this brand say about me? How does it make me feel?
So once you've built that meaning, we climb up to the 3rd level. This is where customers start to form real active opinions. The question becomes much more personal. What do I actually think or feel about you?
And yep, you guessed it, we see that head versus heart split all over again. Brand judgments are the logical conclusions we make based on the brand's performance. We judge its quality, its credibility. But brand feelings? Those are the emotional sparks that fly because of its imagery. It makes us feel warm or excited or safe.
And that brings us all the way to the top, the absolute peak of the pyramid, the ultimate goal. This is where a transaction turns into a real relationship, and the customer starts asking, so, what about you and me?
And this peak has a name: brand resonance. It's that incredibly deep psychological bond where customers feel totally in sync with the brand. They don't just buy the product, they believe in it. This is, without a doubt, the hardest level to reach, but it's also the most valuable.
And true resonance doesn't just happen. It grows. It unfolds in these 4 stages. It starts simple, with, yeah, I'll buy this again. That deepens into, you know what, I really love this brand. Then it becomes, it's not just me, we all love this brand. And finally, it hits that ultimate level. I have to tell everyone I know about this.
So that's the timeless model for what makes a great brand, but how do companies actually build and measure this stuff today? Well, in our hyper-digital world, it all boils down to 2 things: really good content and really smart data. This is how those abstract feelings, like loyalty or attachment, get turned into cold, hard numbers. Marketers take that peak of the pyramid and translate it into these measurable KPIs. You see a jump in social media mentions? That's a sign of active engagement. People are typing your website in directly instead of Googling? That shows attitudinal attachment. Every single one of these metrics is a clue that a brand is hitting that resonance level.
And one of the key tools for this is the UTM code. Now, it sounds technical, but it's actually super simple. Think of it like a little digital name tag that you put on a link. It tells a brand exactly how you got to their website. Was it from that cool Instagram post?
or that helpful email newsletter. This lets them figure out which stories and what content is actually building that deep connection with their community.
Okay, let's bring all this home now and see how this pyramid actually works as a tool to diagnose what's going on with real brands in the real world.
I mean, these two examples show the pyramid in action perfectly. Southwest Airlines absolutely nailed it. They combined great performance, low prices and getting you there on time, with a fun, quirky, irreverent personality. That 1-2 punch created incredible resonance. But on the other side, you have a classic brand like Levi's. They were built on this idea of coolness. But when that imagery started to feel a bit dated, their customers' judgments and feelings weakened, and the whole pyramid started to wobble.
In the end, it really all boils down to this, straight from the man who created the model himself. It's all about how customers think, feel, and act.
So if you remember one thing, let it be this. Iconic brands don't just happen by luck. It's a deliberate, strategic, step-by-step process of building meaning and creating a real, resonant relationship with people.
So I'll leave you with a question to chew on. Think about a brand you absolutely love, one you'd recommend to anyone. Now that you have the blueprint, which level of this pyramid do you think they mastered to win you over?